drawing DANDYSWORLD Toons as humans, OC edition. There are so many cool DANDYSWORLD OCs, so I knew I had to draw them. So grab your popcorn and let's draw some Toons. First up, we're drawing Yellow the Paint Palette, created by Yellow on YouTube. Yellow appears as a Toon with a paint palette for a head, with paint splotches of yellow, red, and blue. She appears to be wearing a sleeveless shirt with a red necklace, and a bow can be seen around her waist, and is also wearing a red skirt paired with red and yellow socks. On one of her hands, she's wearing a glove that may be referencing an anti-smudge drawing glove. Yellow has overall good stats, with 4-star extraction, but in turn has 2-star movement speed, so she would be a Toon more suited for extracting, and may run into trouble when spotted by faster Twisteds. But what's really cool about Yellow is her special ability, called Paint Spill. When used, this ability can significantly slow down the speed of Twisteds that step in a specified area, which has a limited use of once every 2 floors. This would be extremely useful. If I was playing as Yellow, I would definitely use this ability in front of machines so that if a Twisted spots me while I'm doing one, I could easily get away. That would also be very useful in blackouts when I'm doing machines and have no idea how close a Twisted is to me. Now let's move on to her Twisted form. Twisted Yellow now appears with her eyes closed, and her paint palette no longer being colorful, and instead covered with ichor. The star necklace around her neck is now messed up, along with her skirt being ripped and the bow around her waist looking more like a knot. Her Twisted research reads, always having been a perfectionist, this Twisted remains idle most of the time. However, messing up machines would not be advised, as it disturbs her peace and causes her to run rampant until she finds the culprit. And her face goes from completely peaceful to her looking like she's from Ace Attorney or Danganronpa. I would be hella scared of waking up as Twisted. While her stats aren't really mentioned, her running rampant sounds like it'd be similar to Twisted Glisten after he snaps, so she'd probably be very fast. And the fact that you know she's specifically looking for you and won't stop until she catches you is terrifying. If this Twisted was actually put in the game, I'd feel really bad for any Cosmos. Good luck with those skill checks. One of my favorite things about this Toon though is her trinket. When being chased by a Twisted, this trinket can coat paint over their eyes, which would significantly slow them down. Okay, yeah, you already know I'm saving this for when Pebble spots me. Considering she's a slower Toon, this trinket would definitely help balance that out. Even though it's not in the game, this is one of the few trinkets that I would actually use, because I feel like so many of them just don't do much. Since her personality is described as a perfectionist, I'd imagine her to act similar to Tisha and Glisten. Very bubbly and fun, but becomes stressed out easily. I gotta say, I love the design of this OC so much, and for the human design, I knew I wanted to keep that paint palette because that's literally her entire character, so I turned it into a cute beret hat with a short round hairstyle. In her bangs, I also put a circular cutout, similar to what you see on the ends of the paint palette. And obviously, as a human, I'm sure she would be an artist, so she has paint tubes and brushes with her wherever she goes. In the original, the star necklace looks more like a choker, but I turned mine into a cute bow. Lastly, she has a paintbrush tucked right behind her ear, kind of like what some people do with pencils. Here is Human Yellow. Up next is Major and Melody, the Music Note Twins, an OC by Shining Swarm 25. And I am so excited about this one because it's so unique. Just like Razzle and Dazzle, these are 2 Toons in one. The one on the left is wearing a big bow with a music note and is wearing a cyan-colored hoodie paired with a skirt. The Toon on the right is wearing a purple sweater with a pair of headphones resting on their shoulders. These two are both connected as a music note called a beam note, a music note that groups other notes together to show their rhythmic value. So needless to say, considering they're stuck together, these 2 twins must be very close and work great together. They have good stats with 4-star extraction, but their stamina is on the lower side, which I think kind of makes sense as they need to use double their energy to move around. One of the requirements to get them is to complete 3 of Razzle and Dazzle's mastery quests, which fits so well considering they're also twins. Their ability, Note Duet, gives Toons a location to an unfinished machine on the map for 5 seconds. So kind of similar to V's ability, but with this one, everyone can see it. I also love how when they use this ability, they sing together. It's the cutest thing ever. Their Twisted version is less cute and more creepy, with the music note connecting them now being split open in the middle, showing what appears to be jumbled up chords, or maybe just ichor. Their eyes are bloodshot red and no longer look very chill. In this version, they're also now holding hands which are covered in ichor, and it's possible they may be completely stuck together. Honestly, when I saw this, it reminded me of umbilical cords, which made this even creepier to me. They're also a rare type of Twisted, and for good reason. When these 2 appear on your floor, they'll spawn next to a machine, creepily humming music together. At first, they're asleep, but if a player begins to extract from the machine that they're next to, their bar will slowly start to fill up. If the bar fills up before you finish the machine, they'll suddenly wake up and attack you. But if you fail a skill check around them, you'll immediately be hit. So once again, this Twisted would be Cosmo's worst nightmare, unless you don't have a skill issue. The creator of this OC never stated how long it takes for the Twisted's bar to fill up, but I assume your chances of getting attacked depend on the Toon you're using. If you're doing the machine with a lower extraction speed, you're toast. But if you're a high extraction Toon, you should be able to get away before the bar fills. That's how I would think it'd work anyway. One of the comments said they seem like a mixture mixture of Twisted Glisten and Twisted Razzle and Dazzle, which honestly checks out. This is such a cool concept, and I'd love to see a Twisted like this in the game. While their personalities aren't described, judging by their facial expressions, the left looks more bubbly and energetic, while the right looks more chill and casual. Right off the bat, when designing the human version for these two, I knew I wanted to keep them attached like the original, so I drew them both with braided hairstyles that are also attached. It was for sure a challenge to draw this without it looking out of place, but overall I'm happy with this unique hairstyle. But if you guys had any other ideas for what I could have went for, let me know. I kept their outfits very similar, but went for more pajama vibes, which I also think fits pretty well considering they're sleeping in their twisted form. I think they both turned out adorable. Here is Human Major and Melody. Up next is Sparks the Pop Rock, an OC created by Mayet. This toon appears as a purple and blue colored pop rock, wearing a dark blue vest with a striped shirt underneath. They wear burgundy colored pants along with bright yellow shoes. And here's an extra picture showing their very cool pop rock necklace. And the creator has also included some stuff about them. Sparks is a shy, anxious, and paranoid toon. They aren't usually a fan of talking to other toons and prefer being by themselves. He's overly cautious about anything that may even seem a little dangerous. However, if you get to know them, they're quite talkative. This toon has great stealth, extraction speed, and skill check, but really poor movement speed and stamina, so once again, probably stay away from Pebble. Their passive ability is called Paranoia. When a Twisted is nearby, Sparks will become more and more visibly distressed. This ability is awesome because it lets you know when any Twisted are near you. We can even see that they put some dialogue that Sparks would have for their ability if he was actually in the game, alerting everyone that they sense a Twisted approaching. And when a Twisted is really close, Sparks shouts, "I don't like this, I don't like this, can we please get out of here?" Their ability being directly related to their anxiety is very cool. This would definitely be one of my favorite toons to play as if they were actually in the game. They would be similar to Yada, where she's almost considered overpowered because she's just such a good toon. Aside from that 2-star movement speed, of course. Their trinket is an anti-stress whale plushie. I need this plushie in real life. When being chased by a Twisted, it increases walk and run speed by 7.5%. Finally, another actual useful trinket. No shade to Quell, but a lot of these ain't it. Twisted Sparks is a rare Twisted, who now has ichor stains on his spikes, as well as his face being completely covered. Aside from a creepy pair of red eyes and terrifying teeth, their arms are now gone and replaced with long, sharp blades. Their Twisted research reads, "Overtaken by ichor due to pure stress, this Twisted wanders the floors searching for victims. The only thing they can say is built up screams of frustration and stress. Make sure you don't stay away for too long, or else it'll let out a loud screech alerting nearby Twisteds to you." Okay, straight up, they nailed this Twisted design because this is easily one of the most terrifying Twisteds I have ever seen. If this was in the game, there would be reports of DANDYSWORLD players pooping their pants and having graphic nightmares. Some fun facts about Sparks is that they're very good friends with Boxton, and in some of the dialogues, we can see they worry a lot about him. Considering Boxton is also kind of an anxious and shy person, this friendship makes a lot of sense. Oh, and he's very, very afraid of Shrimpo. So much to the point where he would rather be with the Twisteds than be with Shrimpo. At this point, I'm convinced that Shrimpo needs to be sent to prison. I absolutely love this character design so much, and for those who don't know, Sparks is a pop rock candy, which is a candy where if you put it on your tongue, they begin to sizzle and pop. I ate a lot of these when I was a kid. This is so fitting for Sparks because just like the candy, he's jittery and uneasy. So yeah, very cool character concept. With this OC having such an awesome design, I was so excited to work on their human form. I drew the hairstyle as a spiky 2-tone afro, and I still wanted to include that candy element, so I put pieces of pop rock scattered throughout their hair, which I think looks so cute. I kept their outfit very similar to the original, with the addition of making the sleeve holes now spiked to match with his hairstyle. They're also holding that stress whale plushie, and lastly, I made the pants more baggy and comfy because as an anxious person, I can see him wanting baggier clothing. Here is Human Sparks. Last but not least is Carol the Carrot, created by Sua Marine on YouTube. Carol appears as a bright orange carrot with long luscious leaves on their head and a chill face. They wear a plaid yellow and orange bandana around their neck, and their cheeks low-key reminds me of pepperonis. And if you were thinking this toon looks like they'd be related to Sprouts, you're correct. This OC is Sprout's long-distance cousin, and just by looking at this drawing, we can assume they may not get along very well. She kind of gives me the vibes of an older cousin who teases their little cousin a lot, but secretly really cares about him. Anyways, that's my headcanon. Carol has really good stats, excelling in extraction and stamina, while still having average movement speed and stealth. However, that skill check could definitely pose some problems, cause being an extraction toon with that bad of a skill check, you gotta be extra careful, especially on those new circle machines. Their ability is called Push Forward, where she gives a targeted toon a bottle of carrot juice, and drinking this juice can increase your extraction speed by 150%, which is literally crazy. That's like a free Vmote. The only setback though is you will get the tired effect after the machine is done, And this ability is extra awesome since you can also use it on yourself. Now let's talk about her not so friendly version. Twisted Carol has two modes. When she appears on a floor, Carol looks just like a Pikmin in the ground with their leaves poking out. While they are completely harmless in this form, they're still a huge threat. A timer will be set on the player's screen, and this is the amount of time players have to complete all the machines. If you run out of time, Twisted Carol will rise from the ground where you can see their true self. In this form, Carol looks like a carrot that's been sitting in the fridge for too long, with their leaves beginning to wilt and decay while being covered in ichor. They have an appearance similar to Twisted Shelly, with the upper half being separated, revealing an ichor covered ribcage with creepy pointed legs at the bottom. When they rise from the ground, Twisted Carol will begin hunting and searching for all the toons, and will not stop her rampage until every single one of them is dead. Being extremely fast with high attention span and a long line of sight, and they also never stop moving, I'd say if Carol was in the game, they would be the most dangerous Twisted ever. Carol's Twisted research reads, "This Twisted does not tolerate laziness and indiscipline," which would explain why they're so angry if you don't finish the machines. But hey, if you don't run out of time, you are rewarded with 5 extra seconds to the elevator timer, so they aren't all that bad. What's funny about Carol is the creator actually confirms they're based off of this very cursed bootleg Sprout plushie, because he's orange and kinda just looks more like a carrot. I love that so much. Judging on her abilities and Twisted concept, it seems like Carol is a very hard-working carrot, which immediately reminded me of Carrot Cookie from Cookie Run Kingdom. Despite her being the same height as Sprout, as a human, I imagined them to be very tall, so that's what I went with. Carol gives me country vibes, so I went for this farmer cowgirl type outfit with a two-tone cropped jean jacket and matching pants. Her hair is tied up just like her leaves, and I also added a cute scrunchie that matches with her bandana. To represent they're always working hard, I also made the sleeves roll up, and of course I didn't forget the carrot juice. And I was sure to give Carol way more freckles because freckle supremacy. Here is human Carol. Hey broskies, let me know your favorite OC I drew in this video. Personally, my favorite is Yellow. I think she's so cute. And if you want to submit your own Dandy's World OCs for me to draw, join my Discord server linked below and post it in the Dandy's World OCs channel. And be sure to follow the rules in the announcements or you won't be picked. You better follow the rules. See you guys in the next one, and okay, bye!